Hi, I'm Nina, and I'm here to talk to you today about shame and guilt. If you're reading this email and you've come to watch this video, I'm guessing that you are a single mum. I have also been a single mum, and I have experienced a lot of the feelings that I'm going to talk to you about today. I've also supported a lot of women who have felt the same way. So, shame and guilt, why are they important? I think that there's something about becoming a single parent that is surprising and shocking to a lot of us when it happens to us. Um, the grief that comes with it, and also the feelings of being different, of something being wrong, and something being wrong not just with the decision, which you may be okay with, but kind of fundamentally wrong with yourself. That there's something that isn't okay about the situation. It's a feeling that we call shame. Um, Often it's wrapped up in guilt as well. So I'm going to separate these two feelings and talk to you about the difference between the two, and also why I think they're so important to address. So let's talk about what they are exactly. In a nutshell, shame is feeling like there is something wrong with you, like I am a bad person. But guilt is feeling that you've done a bad thing. Now, guilt can actually be quite constructive. If you think that thing that happened wasn't okay with me and I'd like to make it better, then guilt can spur us on into positive action, to making reparations or amends, or going and talking to people and saying that we're sorry, or trying to change the situation positively so that we don't experience that feeling again. It's not a nice feeling, and it often comes up in relation to our children when we are experiencing a family separation. Feeling guilty that they've been impacted by the decisions, or that we haven't been able to protect them from arguments or tears or financial changes, or even bigger ones like moving school or moving house. Feeling guilty about that is really normal. It's not easy though. And I think if you're feeling guilty about things at the moment, if you're finding it difficult to move through those feelings and find the positive direction that you'd like to go in, you would not be alone in those feelings at all. But there are absolutely positive things that you can do. And the great thing about guilt is that when you start taking positive action, it usually fades away. Shame, on the other hand, is something that is a lot more destructive, and it can be a lot harder to pin down, because shame is not looking at a situation and thinking something bad has happened. Shame is when you look at a situation and think, I am bad because of this information that I'm looking at. If you feel that you are bad, or there's something fundamentally wrong with you, then that's a lot harder to shake off. Now, I know in my own experience, and from hundreds of women that I've talked to about this over the years, there are some really key triggers for things like shame to come along. Maybe you've been cheated on. Maybe you have experienced some kind of shocking or traumatic event. Maybe you've experienced some emotional abuse or some um, domestic violence. You know, there are things that are very hard to talk about, and things that are very hard to admit, even to ourselves. And there are experiences that we have sometimes in our adult lives that reinforce messages from our childhoods as well. So perhaps you grew up in an environment that didn't teach you that you were particularly special or worthy, and those feelings have been with you for a long time. And the trigger of your family changing shape and moving through this transition has brought a lot of feelings up for you again. Now, shame can be fixed, but in order to experience the feelings of shame and move through them and be okay on the other side, there's something that we absolutely need to experience. And what we need to experience is not being alone. So if I feel like there's something really badly wrong with me, the thing that will make the difference to me when I reach out and allow myself to get vulnerable is for someone else to say, me too. You know, the Me Too movement has been so powerful, and it has been so extraordinarily impactful for women all over the world because of the effect on shame. When bad things happen to us, the most healing thing that we can do is find out that we are not alone in that experience. Now, I'm reaching out with you today because I want to let you know that guilt and shame, although they're very normal and they're very common experiences for women who are moving through a family transition like separation or divorce, They don't have to stay part of your story forever. If you are finding that your fear is keeping you stuck, that your self-judgment or fear of judgment by other people is keeping you stuck, then I would like to offer an invitation to you to come and get the benefit of Me Too. My community, the Cluster Mothers, has been in existence for nearly 6 months now, and there are almost 250 women in there who are sharing their experiences of transitioning to parenting alone. They have had all kinds of experiences on their journey to arriving as a single mom. Now, some of them have experienced very severe trauma, and others have experienced just breaking up because they fell out of love. And there is every story in between. There's no such thing as bad enough, and there's no such thing as too bad in our community. If you would like to come and talk to us about where you are, if you would like to feel supported by a group of peers who know exactly what you're going through, one way or another, if you want to come and talk about fears that you have that your children might be affected by things, or that you're not coping, or that you don't have people around you perhaps who understand, then that is exactly what I created this community for. You will find the link to the Cluster Mothers in your email, or perhaps you're getting this email because you signed up to be part of the Cluster Mothers and you said that you'd like to stay in touch with me. Either way, I'm really pleased to meet you, and I'm really glad that you've taken the time to watch the video. I'm going to be sending you a few more over the next week or two, just to get to know you a little bit better. Come along and say hi to me, tag me in the post in the Cluster Mothers group. If you've got a specific question, or you want to talk to me about how shame has impacted you or guilt is impacting you and your kids, then just drop me a note. I would love to hear from you, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you better.